So, welcome to today's session. Yeah, as we discussed yesterday, so in last two classes we did introduce, I did introduce you the subject. The first day I did introduce you the whole subject. Second day, that was yesterday, I introduced you the units, unit wise, unit by unit. For example, first unit was basics of energy audit. Second one is energy efficient motors, power factor improvement. So, and then lighting. And third one is economic aspects, economic aspects of this auditing, and then energy conservation schemes. So, we need to discuss one by one individually. So, the significance or importance of this subject and what exactly we are going to discuss or learn during the due course of the time. That was what we discussed in last two classes, and today I tell you that today we'll be starting unit one, the topic one. So as you know that unit one is basic principles of energy audit, and the first two topics is what we are going to discuss today. The first one is definitions, definition of energy audit. So there are three definitions of energy audit, which are very important, as you know. That first you should understand what is energy audit, and then technically you have to write. You should be in a position to write the definition of energy audit. Sometimes you may be asked to write only one definitions, or sometimes you may be asked to write all the three definitions. So all three definitions, these three definitions tells the same thing more or less, but the technology is different. And next we are going to look at what is the need for energy audit, or I would even say that the concept of energy audit. That is going to be second topic today. So is the presentation visible to you people?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
thank you. Yeah, yeah. So we should start now. So if any difficulty amidst of the conversation, I did change my system. I replaced my system, and um, I don't think that we are going to have any network problems. Also, I hope so. Hopefully, okay. So, if any problem is there, let me know either by disturbing me or by texting in the chat box. Okay. So, unit one, unit one of the subject called energy auditing and conservation. The title is Basic Principles of Energy Audit. So all the basics that we're going to learn, for example, definitions, the concept of energy audit, types of energy audit, pi diagrams, Sankey diagrams, and etc. is what we're going to discuss. So I would say that whether irrespective of the subject, the first unit is always important in any subject, as it talks about literally it talks about the whole subject, the first unit. So first unit is always inevitable, which can't be avoided. And generally, it is simpler also. I would say yes. I I I confess that this is easy subject only, provided you people be very regular in the classes. Do listen to whatever I say. You need not to spend hours together, but if you just listen to me, see, Yeah, you have a lot more material with you people nowadays, whether it is notes, PPTs, videos, or whatever. But, so the examples, whatever I'm going to correlate with a particular topic, are not available with you. So that is what you have to look forward, and that is what makes a difference. So energy audit. See, I did mention in red color, and that too with two stars. In bracket, it is written as planning, verification, and monitoring with analysis. So four phases of energy management. Energy management is a huge thing. In energy management, energy audit is part. So the phases which constitutes planning, I mean the process which constitutes planning, verification, monitoring, and analysis of the energy management collectively is called energy audit. This is not definition, of course, but what I mean to say is the different phases available in energy audit are planning, verification, monitoring, and analysis. I told you yesterday also. Let me recollect you. In energy management, the phases available are determining the determination. Determination means first you have to be determined that you're going to do energy audit and end up with profits. Next comes planning. Next comes implementation. Next, monitoring, assessment, or verification, both are same. Reassess if required, and finally again go back to uh, planning if required. Okay, that is what the cycle talks about. The cycle repeats. So the main purpose of energy audit is to increase energy efficiency by reducing energy related costs. So obviously and automatically efficiency would be increased if you reduce energy related costs, don't you? So actually I told you the whole subject. Now we are going to talk about different topics. Every topic talks about a single objective, that is to increase energy efficiency or to reduce costs or to reduce losses. So is the case here also. So it involves which one? Energy audit involves collection of detailed data and its analysis. So obviously, unless the data is not available, I don't think we can start planning, implementing, monitoring, all these things. So yeah, if you take, for example, today I will take an example of software industry. I don't know how many of you are from CSC today. So before a project is supposed to be started, uh, they do a documentation called uh, detailed documentation is what they do. Do you know this one or not? Detailed documentation. So unless you know about the requirement of the client for whom you are going to produce a product, the product may be a physical product or a software. So unless you know the requirements of the customer or client, I don't think you can proceed. So data is required, input data. Data, for example, in software company, data to be given by the client. So in our organization, whenever we are doing energy audit, the data is available with us only. But the data should be uh, organized in a well manner. It's not that randomly it is available and you have to ask n number of people to collect data. So a process, a intermediate process is there to collect data. So it involves arrange audit involves this one also. So that was I would say that basic thing about arrange audit. Now we are going to look at the definitions, which are very important. You need not to recreate the same when we are going to write the examination as far as the definitions are concerned, but at least the terminology should be presented. For example, so the first definition, it is an official and scientific study or survey. What it is? It is official and scientific study or survey of energy consumption. Obviously, but this the words called I will write it here. This one, official and scientific. These two are the two words or terminology which you have to remember. Is official and scientific study, not normal or regular study or survey of energy consumption of a of what? A region or an organization or a process or a plant or equipment. What do you mean by this one? So I don't think you don't know about the organization, but what is the process? A process means a task. For example, heating. So in automobile industry, heating should be one of the tasks which is required. So is the case with electrical power plants also. Heating is very much required, don't we? So then heating comes under one of the processes of an organization. It's the plant. Plant means it's a model which does that particular task, and then equipment. So I need to tell you again what do you mean by equipment. So if you take into consideration the software firm, the equipment should be obviously the computers and their accessories, UPS, inverters, air conditioners. So all these things will come into the equipment. So official or scientific study or survey of energy consumption of a region, organization, process, plant or equipment aimed at reduction of energy consumption. So, so what is the aim here? The aim of the complete energy audit is to reduce energy consumption. So we do come across this one many number of times. And to reduce the energy consumption and energy costs without affecting productivity and comforts. See, you are reducing the energy consumption cost doesn't mean that you are deteriorating the quality of the power, isn't it? It's something like this. Example again. See, reducing power doesn't mean that cutting off the power supply to a particular area for hours together, isn't it? It's not so. So, without affecting the productivity and the comforts, if you can reduce the energy costs and energy consumption, so that is the objective of the energy audit. So, one last time I will read it is an official scientific study or survey of energy consumption of an organization or region or process or plant to reduce energy consumption and energy losses without affecting the comfortability. Okay, that is the first definition. Definition 2. So here it is defined as it is a fundamental part. What energy audit is a fundamental part. In definition 1, what it was defined as, it was a survey. It was a scientific survey. In definition 2, he is talking about it is a fundamental part of energy management program. I told you Many times, yesterday also I told you, energy audit is part of energy management, where it includes the planning, analysis, monitoring, verification. In controlling energy costs, again, so this won't leave you controlling or reducing the energy costs, won't leave you the rest of the subject impact. So this is third definition. So the third definition is given by Indian Energy Conservation Act 2001. So this is very very important. So mentioning these keywords in examinations is very very important. So the third definition is defined by Energy Conservation Act, Government of India in 2001, and it is defined as the verification, monitoring, and analysis of use of energy, including submission of technical report containing the recommendations for improving energy efficiency with cost-benefit analysis and an action plan to reduce energy consumption. So this is a bit bigger. I told you, as I told you, it is more or less same only, but in a different way. So the energy audit is defined as the verification. So as you could see in the first slide itself, that see here, you see energy audit in brackets. What did we write? We did write planning, verification, monitoring, and analysis, and that's what we are discussing here also. Verification, monitoring, analysis of use of energy, obviously, including submission of technical report. I told you data is required, don't we? We need data. We need to collect data to do energy audit, obviously, which contains recommendations for improving energy efficiency. For example, this year you did energy audit here. This year you did energy audit. Though you did energy audit, you came out that the energy conservation is not up to the mark. Our losses are more. Then what happens? Then what we can do? We can make use of this year's data, the energy audit data, for the next year, so that we can expect the better results. Yes or no? With the cost benefit analysis and an action plan. I told you action plan here. So, for example, if it is not working fine as far as your requirement is concerned, I told you that we have to reassess the process and we have to go back to replanning so that the cycle repeats. The cycle keeps repeating unless you reach a position where we can say that yes, the efficiency has been increased and energy parts or conservation has been decreased. Are you all with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Bharat, thank you. So, so those were the definitions of energy audit. Next, we're going to look at the next topic, that is concept. So, what is the concept of energy audit? Again, see, defining this way or that way or one or the other way is more or less same only. Okay, energy audit concept are the reason why we are using energy audit, or energy audit is used to minimize what? If you ask the question like this, then the answer would be first one, cost of energy supposed to reduce. So these are the attributes to reduce the cost of energy. Next one is to reduce operational cost. Operational cost means running cost. Let me tell you what the difference between running cost and initial cost. For example, in order to erect a plant, an industry, the initial cost which requires or which is required to incur to start the company is called investment or initial cost. Once it is starts its functionality, the cost required to run the show, to run the plant, to produce the products is called operating cost. I don't think I need a much explanation here. So different names. In fact, operational costs or running costs or maintenance costs all are same only. So the cost for repair and reconstruction. These are not regular costs actually. So this we may come across once in a while. So unexpected things these are may not be always available. So sometimes if something goes wrong, if something is to be repaired, then we have to go for repair and reconstruction. So these are some of the important attributes of energy audit. So continuation of energy audit. Next, to increase the quality of environment that contribute to increased work productivity. So what environment has to do? What environment has to do as far as environment. So what is the role of environment as far as energy audit is concerned, or what is the role of energy audit as far as environment is concerned? So these are interrelated to each other, don't they? So once you reduce the costs or the losses or the process, if you save the system from emerging weights which are not required, obviously it leads to quality of environment. Quality of environment. For example, one more real-time example. A nuclear power plant, if you take into consideration, nuclear power plant to generate electricity. I think you know that to run nuclear power plant, we need radioactive materials, don't we? Something like uranium, thorium, barium, something like that, which are very hazardous, don't they? Unless you deal the nuclear power plant in a skillful way, it may lead to hazardous results. Examples are Chernobyl disaster in Ukraine, in a country called Ukraine in 1980s, and followed by one more disaster in Japan. So nuclear power plant disasters. So if you don't take care of the skillful personnel who are working there, and if you don't do the audit in a proper way, where the losses are, how to reduce it, especially these type of thermal power, power plants, these audits are very much important, very much useful, very much crucial. So obviously, you know, once the disaster, we see whenever nuclear disasters do happen, I think you know very well that it takes years together to come to the normal situation. So those areas have to be evacuated. So nobody can live there due to radioactivity. So it affects years together. That's the reason India is a bit stepping back as far as the nuclear power is concerned. But enormous power is available, energy is available, resources are available. But unless skillful personnel is there, strict instructions are followed, we can't go for nuclear power plant. So the most, the most dangerous. resource of energy generation is nuclear power plant. So it has direct relationship with the environment. It devastates the environment brutally. Okay. So to increase the quality of environment that contribute to increase work productivity. So once the environment is not affected, obviously productivity will be more. Yes or no? All these are interrelated again. So and what else to prevent energy wastage? Already discussed. To maintain and control power quality. Again, very important. Power quality. So power quality, the word called power quality itself is a different subject at PG level for electrical students. Power quality, where the parameters to be controlled are in power quality to achieve power quality. The parameters to be controlled are voltage, frequency, to get rid of harmonics, power factor, or reactive power. That means once you are controlling power factor, indirectly you are controlling reactive power. Of course, in one of the units, we are going to discuss about power factor. We are going to discuss about power factor. What is power factor? Its definitions. Why to improve power factor? What happens if you don't improve power factor? What are the adverse effects of poor power factor? What is its ideal value? How to improve it? All these things we are going to look at in second unit, I think. So, to maintain the to maintain and control power quality, also energy audit is pretty much required or useful. So I would stop for a while here so that I can ensure whether people are following or not. So any doubts till now?
No, sir.
Energy audit. Yeah, Bharat, thank you. Yeah, so energy audit definitions, concept, why we are doing energy audit, what is energy audit, and some practical examples. Any doubts till now? Akshit, any doubts?
No, sir.
Are you clear? Okay. So I would ask a simple question. See, we discussed the three definitions of energy auditor. Can anybody tell me any one definition, a simple way? At least some attributes, if not complete definition. Anybody?
Environment.
Environment, yeah. So one of the objectives of energy audit tool is to look after the environment also. Very good. Any other? Very simple here. Listen to me one thing. Or remember one thing that, see, for example, if you don't understand or don't not recollecting anything to discuss about anything in our energy auditing and conservation, you can write the common things like this to reduce the energy costs, to reduce energy losses, and to improve energy efficiency. These are very much common wherever you go. Okay. Okay. Having said that, now we shall continue. to maintain and control power quality, where voltage, frequency, harmonics, power factor. In fact, there are so many more, but those are not required for you people. So these four are what we are supposed to remember as far as power quality is concerned. So if you can do an energy audit in an organization in a proper way, and if you can plan, implement, monitor, verify, assess, reassess properly, you can maintain the power quality. So you may ask one thing here: what is that one is for us if you maintain power quality, quality of power? So you will be awarded. You will be awarded. You will be rewarded, and you will be given some incentives. For example, I will tell you. For example, if you are see one substation, if you take in consideration substation. Substation means it is a station where the high voltages are stepped down to low voltages. Even the reverse also is possible. So there, the personnel who are working there takes care of the power factor, a parameter called power factor, whose ideal value is 1. Ideal value is 1, which is impossible ever. So if you can at least maintain 0.95 or 0.9, something like that, those personnel who are working there, along with their salary, they will be given incentives. They will be given incentives uh, till the time when you are going to continue maintaining this power factor. And at the same time, if you are unable to maintain the power factor, for example, the power factor has come down below zero point 0.8, for example, then they will be penalized even. So both are possible. Appreciation as well depreciation, both are available. So that's what the importance of energy audit is. So next, what else energy audit can do? It helps to understand more about the ways of energy and fuel are used in any industry. Again, here I have one more chance to discuss about energy audit in a different way. What it does do, it allows us to, it helps us to understand more about ways of energy and fuel which are being used in an industry. For example, for example, now let's take a textile industry. Okay, a textile industry or paper industry, whatever. I think if people agree with me that whatever maybe the industry it is, water is required or not, abundant amount of water is required or not for different processes. Hello,
Yes, sir.
water is required, yes or no? Now, simple, very simple example I am telling you. Simple, very simple. Where it is an automobile industry, thermal power plant, nuclear power plant, a hydel power plant is nothing but the major resource itself is water, of course. Textile industry or a commercial building, a huge building, for example, if you say Burj Khalifa, if you say the tallest buildings in the world, they need gallons and gallons of water every to reach everyday needs of the person who are living there. Yes or no? Now the question comes here is how best we are making use of that resource. I wouldn't say fuel. I would say resource. I'll come back to fuel, of course, again, isn't it? So how best we make use of the water as far as a given industry is concerned? It looks very simple to you people, I'm telling you, but it makes a lot. And you have to ensure that how energy is being used. I have been telling you that energy losses should be less, and I'm not going to discuss much about it. But my point of concentration here is how best I'm making use of the fuel available. Fuel. Why fuel is required? What is the fuel here, and why fuel is required in any given industry, organization, or
To generate energy.
to generate which energy?
Electrical energy maybe or mechanical energy.
Okay, please tell me in detail. Name name
Uh,
name the fuel.
uh, what's it?
You are correct only. Name fuel name. Which fuel you are making use of to generate electricity?
Let us consider about thermal energy, maybe thermal power plant.
Yes,
So the main theme of thermal power plant is generating steam and rotating the dynamics,
rotating steam turbines.
turbines.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So here, the main fuel is water, sir. Water and heat.
Heater can't be called as fuel. Heater is called as a component, one of the parts. Water, correct. Water, correct. And what else is the main fuel?
Water in
Are you unable to listen to me?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I, this is pretty much fine with me here. See, see, what I mean to tell you is what is the other fuel apart from water which is required in a thermal power plant? It is coal. Yes or no?
Yeah, coal, sir. I forgot.
Yeah. So again, see, if we keep talking about all these things, I do come across so many practical examples. Yeah, well said by Bharat. Well said, Bharat. Yeah. Now let me add some more points
Yeah.
to it. Yeah. So the fuel used in thermal power plant is coal. Now the question arises here is how best you are making use of the coal? Yes or no? The reason here
Yes,
is
sir.
since the coal is getting deteriorated year to year, and the next 10 to 15 years, we are not going to have coal reserves anymore. So this is time for you to make use of the fuel at the highest possible efficient level. Yes or no?
Yes.
You can't afford to waste even a single 1 kg of the coal. So that's what we are talking about here. How best we are making use of the fuel. This is just an example. If I have to say one more example, for example, in nuclear power plant, the thorium, how best you are making use of the radioactive elements. The reason is radioactive materials are not available in India, not abundantly. They are available, but not abundantly to feed the nuclear power plant to generate electricity. So then we are purchasing these radioactive elements, radioactive materials from other countries like Russia and US. Then once we are purchasing those fuels, isn't it our minimum responsible to ensure that we make use of the fuel to the utmost efficiency? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So energy audit has something to do with energy fuel usage also. It's not that only you did some study on that one, you did some survey on that one, you did submit the documents. No, it's not so. So it has many things to discuss. So whenever the contest recommends, I will of course talk about the practical and real-time examples. Okay. So next, so these are all key words, key points to be discussed. Yeah. Next comes is the range audit also helps in identifying the areas where waste can occur and where scope of improvement exists. Obviously, So it's not that you say that, sir, this much of wastage is there in our company for 1 year, so we have to reduce it. So you should not be vague in you know statements, giving statements. So you have to be pretty much particular in giving the statements. So where exactly the waste is, why it has come into picture, who is the responsible for this waste? Is it the person who is working there? Is it the equipment which is not working fine? Or is it the planning which is not up to the mark? So you have to identify the areas where exactly the waste is coming from and how to overcome that wastage. So this also comes under energy audit. Next up, positive orientation to cost reduction. Again, I told you, you will come across these words many number of times. Again, cost reduction was positive orientation. I think this is the first time we are talking about something called positive orientation. So, what do you mean positive orientation? So, see, not only the audit engineer or the auditor is responsible for reducing the energy costs. In fact, every personnel, every employee whoever is working for the firm has to be responsible for reducing the energy costs so that we end up with higher efficiency and we end up with more profits. So this orientation should be given to each and every employee or staff or personnel whoever is working there for the organization. So that's what you mean by orientation. Okay. Next. So it also includes to check the variation of energy cost. So it not only you have to assess the energy wastages, but you have to look at the variation of energy cost. So one day it is getting increased, one day it is getting decreased. So the pattern is not uniform. So the pattern is not linear. It is not non-linear. It is why it is not linear, and what causes this one to be non-linear, and all these things. Have to see where exactly, on which day it is more, on which day it is less, why it is less. All these things. A study has to be done. Reliability of energy supply. So we have been talking about only, reducing energy costs, reducing energy losses to increase efficiency. But though you are taking corrective measures to improve the efficiency, but energy supply itself is not reliable. For example, what do you mean by energy not being reliable? It is something like this. On a particular given day, um, especially industries, so we do give 24 hours of free power to farmers. So is not the case with industries. Yes or no? So is not the case with domestic customers, especially in summer. Okay, in winter and monsoon, we didn't have that much problem, especially in Telangana nowadays after 2014. We didn't have the problem of, uh, in recent past, we didn't have the problem of energy or power supply. But in summer, still there are areas where scheduled interruptions do happen. Interruption means cutting of the power. As you people know that in summer we are lack of the water, where hydel power plants don't work. We have to rely only on thermal power plants. So it is understandable. But as far as industries are concerned, if you are cutting off power for industries, leave about domestic air. See, we people at home, we can persist, we can sustain, even there is no power for one day or not one day, something like 2 hours, 3 hours, something like that. But not industry. Let me tell you, if an industry doesn't have power for 2 hours, depending upon the scale at which they are working, It costs around, for example, small scale industry itself, if you take into consideration, it costs something around 50 lakhs to 1 crore of losses. Are you getting me?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. So reliability means that one. So we have to ensure that the power is reliable, at least industries. I'm not talking about domestic. Okay. Everybody talks about farmers. See, I don't mean that they don't require, but they are misusing that one. Even farmers are misusing that one. So that is a different story. We shall talk afterwards. But see, as far as industries are concerned, they also should be given reliable power supply. The reason is they work 24 by 7 year. It's not something like an office works from morning 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. No, they work 24 by 7. And the power interruption of 1 hour costs them 50 lakhs to 1 crore of losses. So reliability of power supply is very much required. I am telling energy audit has nothing to do with reliability of energy supply. But though you are doing all these things, but the power supply itself is not there. What the you know I don't think there is no amusement talking about energy auditing and these big words and all these things. Minimum requirement is energy supply. Next one, energy auditing provide a benchmark for managing energy in the organization. Obviously, so this word is very 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 important. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm telling you people that benchmark. So these type of words, if you can write an examination and underline, this is what is required in theoretical subjects here. I'm telling you. So wherever keywords, terminologies are available, something like, for example, reliability, energy cost, energy supply, benchmark, and if you go back to the last slide, yeah, energy wastage, uh, energy and a fuel. So these type of things you have to underline, you have to highlight as far as examination point of view is concerned. So the energy auditing sets a benchmark for the industry to meet. So it is you who has to decide whether you are going beyond the benchmark or always being beneath the benchmark, isn't it? So energy auditing sets a benchmark to the organization. So the next one is the type of energy audits. In fact, this is a hot topic of Unit 2, which I'm not going to discuss today. Next week, uh, let me conclude today's session with saying this one by saying this one. Next week, we'll be talking about types of energy audits, which will be again interesting, provided. See, I will tell you one thing here. See, for example, you people, civil students are there, mechanical students are there, CSC students are there. You just correlate whatever I am talking about to your own stream of engineering. Of course, I am giving you examples today. I gave you example of one software firm. So detailed documentation is required before starting a project. Yes or no? So is the case with the automobile industry auditing, how it is done. And anyhow, I'm talking about, I did talk about the skyscrapers in the world or India. So what is the requirement for those huge buildings? Water supply, power supply, so reliable supply. So unless you correlate this subject to your own streams of engineering, you can't enjoy, you can't imbibe, you can't can't be engaged with this subject. Okay. So next class we'll be talking about types of energy audits. We have many types of energy audits, and first we talk about how these energy auditing types depend on, and what are the attributes on which energy audit types depend on. And then we'll be talking about types of energy audit, something like a simple audit, detailed audit, Some types of audits are there. We will be discussing in the next class. That will be next week, Tuesday, 11:50. Okay. Let me summarize today's class so that we can conclude. So what we discussed today was what is energy audit, its definitions. Three definitions were there, and then we discussed about concept, energy audit concept, why it is meant for, to minimize what. So the definition, if I have to talk about, it is a, for example, one of the definitions, if I have to talk about, it is a scientific or strategic survey or study to minimize energy costs. Yes or no? So I might not have told you as it is whatever there in the slide. So it is not expected from you to, you can write on your own, but take care of about the terminology which is available in that in those definitions. Okay. So and then we discussed about concepts. So we discussed I would say advantages or uses of energy audit uh, by talking about some real-time examples. Thermal power plant, as said by one of your friends, the fuel required is coal, and why this energy audit is required not only to reduce the costs, but in fact, what we need is the reliable energy supply is also very much required for an organization or process or plant or institution or firm or whatever. Okay, so that is what will be discussed today. Now I'll be giving you time to ask doubts if you have any. So two students got disconnected. Okay. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Bharat, did you understand?
Yeah, sir. And
Very good. Hari, Abhishek, Achyut.
Yes, sir.
Any problems or any suggestions which you people can give to me as far as presentation is concerned, or any requirements for you? Any amendments? Any refinements? Achyut. So I'm talking about my way of presentation. So any suggestions from your side, or you are comfortable? Or should I say
we are
anything?
comfortable.
Okay. Today I replaced my system also. I think we were intact. There was no problem at all. So if you have anything to suggest me, you can always, okay. You can text me individually or you can call me. Yeah, the students whoever have doubts can remain be in the meeting. Else you can leave. Attendance has been marked up.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, thank you.